most successfully portrayed characters in Attack on Titan. In fact, it's not the person you might first think of. According to the official character popularity ranking, there are actually 6 characters who are the most successfully portrayed. They are as follows. The first one, Ymir, with just a few short scenes. Her entire life as a young girl was depicted. Although the scenes were few, they perfectly showed all the oppression she endured. The great power of the Titan and her oppressed life formed a sharp contrast. Even after her death, she found no peace. This perfectly evoked the sympathy of all the audience. However, there is a drawback. She had no lines throughout the whole show, losing the channel for the audience to understand information directly from her, which reduced the sense of immersion a bit. The second Captain Levi A character, with only slightly more lines than Ymir. Most of the time, the audience could only judge his thoughts from his actions. Whether it was the rage he showed when his 2 friends died, the firm trust he showed after being convinced by Erwin, or the choice he made during the Battle of the Tross District, all these made people deeply understand his inner world. The lack of verbal description instead made people pay more attention to the meaning behind his actions. The downside is that when he was in the Survey Corps, influenced by Erwin, he tried not to let his emotions affect him. Coupled with his taciturn personality, it was easy for the audience to feel that he was cold and even annoying. The third Erwin, a very cruel liar. The description of him is full of contrasts. His speeches made people feel passionate, but in battles, his cold-blooded judgment on sacrifices in battles made people feel cruel. The only constant thing about him was his obsession with the truth of the world. The drawback is that many people tend to believe their immediate judgment. For a character like him, who often changes and even conceals his goals, it's easy for people to misjudge. Fourth, Zeke. His experiences in the show and the changes brought about by those experiences, from a Marleyan warrior to a failed person whose ideals collapsed, his obsession with the euthanasia plan, and his breakdown after its failure, all demonstrated excellent character portrayal. No one can refute this. The drawback is that the euthanasia plan is extremely cruel. Fifth, Eren. His performance from the middle of Season 3 to the end of the show was quite remarkable. Whether it was the transformation of his character, the layout of various events, or his confession in front of his friends at the end, the psychological descriptions shown through various contradictions demonstrated great character charm. However, in the first 2 and a half seasons, he didn't change much. He just stubbornly wanted to kill all the Titans because of hatred and got angry because he couldn't control the power of the Titan. But his performance in the second half alone was not enough to make him the most successfully portrayed character. Sixth, Reiner is undoubtedly at the peak of character portrayal in the whole show. As a victim of Marley's brainwashing education, being brainwashed and indoctrinated with racism, he finally overcame everything after experiencing countless losses. Every scene of Reiner showed great complexity. When he finally chose to face his guilt and pain directly, his character charm reached its peak. So I think Reiner deserves the top spot.